Hello, Los Angeles Lakers fan. We're back with an exclusive video bringing you the latest updates. First of all, subscribe to the channel and like the video. It's crucial for you to stay informed with the news daily. Without further ado, let's get to the news. The atmosphere around the Los Angeles Lakers has taken on a strange and emotional tone, the kind that usually signals that something significant is quietly unfolding behind the scenes. In what many insiders are calling an unexpected and heartfelt moment, head coach J.J. Redick reportedly shared words that sounded very much like a farewell directed at Rui Hachimura. While nothing has been officially confirmed, the phrasing of his message has fueled intense speculation across the basketball world. Saying that he hopes Rui finds happiness with the Golden State Warriors is not something a coach casually throws into a conversation. It felt deliberate, almost like a subtle acknowledgement of something already in motion. Fans immediately began reading between the lines, trying to connect dots that may or may not exist. Was this simply a gesture of goodwill, or was it an accidental reveal of a deal already agreed upon behind closed doors? The Lakers organization has remained silent, which only adds more mystery to the situation. Silence in moments like this tends to speak louder than any press release ever could. And right now, it feels like something is brewing just beneath the surface. As rumors continue to swirl, what makes this situation even more intriguing is the relationship between J.J. Redick and Rui Hachimura throughout the season. Redick has consistently spoken highly of Rui, praising his versatility, composure, and ability to step up in crucial moments. That is why this supposed farewell feels so unusual. Coaches do not typically part ways so openly with players they value unless there's a larger plan at play. Some believe this could be part of a strategic shift within the Lakers organization, possibly aimed at reshaping the roster to better compete in an increasingly demanding Western Conference. Others suggest that Rui himself may have expressed interest in exploring new opportunities, especially with a team like the Warriors, known for their fluid style of play and strong emphasis on ball movement. The idea of Rui fitting into that system is something analysts have quietly discussed for months. Still, hearing it come from his own coach, even in a speculative sense, gives those discussions a completely different weight. There's also the emotional layer to consider, something that often gets overlooked when focusing purely on trades and contracts. Rui Hachimura has built a strong connection with both his teammates and the fan base in Los Angeles. His journey has not been without challenges, but he has consistently shown resilience and growth. If this truly is the beginning of a departure, it marks the end of a chapter that many believe still had more to offer. J.J. Redick's words, if interpreted as a farewell, carried a tone of respect and genuine care. It was not the language of a coach eager to move on, but rather someone acknowledging a transition that might already be inevitable. That kind of sentiment resonates deeply with fans, making the speculation even more emotionally charged. It raises questions about what might have happened behind the scenes to lead to this moment, and whether this decision, if real, was mutual or driven by circumstances beyond anyone's control. From a strategic perspective, the potential move of Rui Hachimura to the Warriors opens up a fascinating discussion about how he could be utilized in their system. The Warriors have long been known for maximizing the strengths of versatile forwards, players who can stretch the floor, defend multiple positions, and adapt quickly to the rhythm of the game. Rui possesses many of those qualities, which makes this rumor transition feel almost too perfect to ignore. Analysts are already imagining how he could fit alongside established stars, contributing both offensively and defensively in ways that might not have been fully explored in Los Angeles. On the flip side, this raises questions about what the Lakers would gain from such a move. Are they preparing to bring in a different type of player, or is this part of a broader restructuring that is yet to be revealed? The lack of clarity only fuels more speculation, turning every small comment into a potential clue. Another layer of intrigue comes from the timing of these rumors. Moments like this rarely happen without a reason, and the fact that J.J. Redick's comments surfaced now has not gone unnoticed. Some insiders believe this could be a calculated move, perhaps even a way to prepare the fan base for an announcement that is coming sooner rather than later. Others argue that it might have been an honest, unfiltered moment that unintentionally revealed more than intended. Either way, it has created a ripple effect across the league, with fans, analysts, and even other players beginning to weigh in on the possibility. Social media has become a storm of theories, with some suggesting that negotiations between the Lakers and Warriors have been ongoing for weeks, while others dismiss it as pure speculation blown out of proportion. In situations like this, the truth often lies somewhere in between, hidden beneath layers of interpretation and assumption. What cannot be denied, however, is the impact this has already had on the narrative surrounding both teams. The Lakers, a franchise that thrives on star power and high expectations, suddenly find themselves at the center of yet another dramatic storyline. The Warriors, on the other hand, are being linked to a potential addition that could quietly strengthen their roster in meaningful ways. Rui Hachimura, caught in the middle of all this, has yet to make any public statements, which only adds to the suspense. His silence is being interpreted in countless ways, from professionalism to confirmation, depending on who you ask. Meanwhile, REDICK's words continue to echo, analyzed from every possible angle. Whether this turns out to be a genuine farewell or simply a misunderstood comment, one thing is certain. The story has taken on a life of its own, and the basketball world is watching closely, waiting for the next piece of the puzzle to fall into place. As the speculation grows louder, there's an undeniable sense that something bigger is unfolding behind the curtain, something that goes beyond a simple player movement. The Lakers have always operated with a sense of calculated ambition, rarely making decisions without a broader vision in mind. If Rui Hachimura is indeed on his way to the Warriors, it would suggest a shift in priorities, perhaps even a redefinition of the team's identity moving forward. REDICK, being new in his role as head coach, may be trying to imprint his philosophy on the roster, and sometimes that requires difficult decisions. Letting go of a player like Rui would not come lightly, especially considering his contributions and potential. Yet, in the world of professional basketball, potential is often weighed against immediate needs, and teams must constantly adapt to remain competitive. This rumored move could be one of those moments where long-term planning takes precedence over short-term sentiment. At the same time, the Warriors' involvement in this narrative adds another layer of fascination. Known for their championship pedigree and cohesive system, they have a reputation for integrating players in ways that elevate their game. Rui Hachimura stepping into that environment could represent a new chapter in his career, one where his skill set is utilized in a different, possibly more dynamic way. The idea of him thriving in that system has sparked excitement among certain fans, even those who are not directly connected to either franchise. It speaks to the universal appeal of seeing talent find the right environment to flourish. However, this also raises questions about how such a move would impact the existing chemistry within the Warriors. Every addition changes the balance of a team, and while Rui brings strengths, adjustments would inevitably be required. Meanwhile, within the Lakers organization, the silence continues to be one of the most telling aspects of this entire situation. No official statements, no clarifications, just a quiet that feels almost intentional. In many ways, that silence has allowed the rumor to grow beyond its original context, evolving into something much larger than a single comment. Fans are dissecting every interview, every gesture, searching for confirmation or denial. REDICK himself has not expanded on his words, leaving them open to interpretation. This lack of follow-up has only intensified the speculation, making it seem as though there might be truth hidden within the ambiguity. It is a classic scenario in sports, where what is not said becomes just as important as what is. And right now, what is not being said is fueling one of the most intriguing storylines of the season. Rui Hachimura's perspective remains one of the biggest unknowns in this unfolding drama. As a player who has shown professionalism and focus throughout his career, he is not someone who typically engages in public speculation. His silence could simply be a reflection of that mindset, choosing to let the situation develop without adding to the noise. Yet, in the context of these rumors, that silence is being interpreted in countless ways. Some believe it suggests that discussions are already underway, while others see it as a sign that nothing has been decided. The truth, as always, is likely more nuanced. Players often find themselves navigating complex situations where not everything can be shared publicly. If Rui is indeed considering a move, it would involve factors that go beyond basketball, including personal growth, career trajectory, and the environment in which he feels he can succeed. As conversations continue to evolve, the role of JJ Redick in all of this cannot be overlooked. As a first-time head coach, every word he says carries weight, especially in a market as intense as Los Angeles. His comment about Rui potentially being happy with the Warriors might have been a genuine expression of support, but in the current climate, it has taken on a much larger meaning. It raises questions about how aware he was of the implications of his words, and whether this was part of a larger communication strategy or simply an unguarded moment. Either way, it has positioned him at the center of a narrative that continues to gain momentum. How he handles this situation moving forward could have a significant impact on how he is perceived, not just by fans, but by players and executives around the league. The broader implications of this rumored move extend beyond the Lakers and Warriors, touching on the ever-changing dynamics of the league as a whole. Player movement has become a defining aspect of modern basketball, with teams constantly reshaping their rosters in pursuit of success. If Rui Hachimura does make this transition, it would be another example of how quickly things can change, how one comment can spark a chain reaction of speculation and anticipation. It also highlights the delicate balance between transparency and discretion in professional sports. Teams must communicate effectively while also protecting their strategic interests, and sometimes that balance results in moments like this, where uncertainty becomes the dominant narrative. For now, everything remains in the realm of speculation, a story driven by interpretation, emotion, and a natural curiosity of fans who want to understand what is happening behind the scenes. JJ Redick's words continue to linger, serving as both a clue and a mystery, depending on how one chooses to interpret them. Rui Hachimura's future, whether it lies with the Lakers or the Warriors, has become one of the most talked about topics in the basketball world. Until something concrete is revealed, the rumors will continue to grow, shaped by every new detail, every silence, every hint of confirmation or denial. And in that uncertainty, the story finds its power, drawing everyone into a narrative that feels as unpredictable as the game itself. And as this story refuses to fade, the tension surrounding Rui Hachimura's future seems to be reaching a completely different level, almost like the calm before a major announcement that could shake both franchises. The Lakers' locker room, at least from the outside, appears steady, but those who follow the league closely know how quickly things can shift beneath the surface. A single move can redefine roles, expectations, and even the identity of a team. If Rui is truly on the verge of leaving, it would not just be about replacing a player, but about recalibrating the entire structure of the roster. JJ Redick's earlier words continue to echo in that context, sounding less like a coincidence and more like a carefully chosen message, even if unintentionally so. Fans have started to revisit past interviews, looking for hidden clues, subtle hints that may have gone unnoticed at the time. Before we continue, we ask that you leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Lakers updates. Moving on, at the same time, there's an increasing sense that the Warriors might be quietly positioning themselves for something significant, something that aligns perfectly with the idea of bringing in a player like Rui Hachimura. Their system thrives on intelligence, adaptability, and unselfish play, qualities that Rui has demonstrated in flashes throughout his career. The possibility of him stepping into that environment has sparked conversations about how his game could evolve, how he might unlock aspects of his potential that have yet to fully emerge. It is not just about what he has done, but about what he could become in a different setting. This is where the rumor gains even more traction, because it feels plausible, almost natural. When a potential move makes sense both strategically and stylistically, it becomes harder to dismiss it as mere speculation, even without official confirmation. Back in Los Angeles, the uncertainty is beginning to feel like a storyline in itself, something that is shaping the narrative of the team as much as any performance on the court. The Lakers are no strangers to high-profile rumors, but this one carries a different kind of weight because of the emotional connection involved. Rui Hachimura is not just another name on a roster. He represents development, resilience, and moments that have resonated with the fan base. If this is indeed the end of his journey with the team, it will leave a noticeable void, not just in terms of skill, but in terms of identity. JJ Redick, still establishing himself in his role, now finds himself navigating a situation that tests not only his strategic thinking, but also his ability to manage narratives and expectations. Every decision, every word will be scrutinized, especially in a market that demands clarity even when none is available. Ultimately, what makes this entire situation so compelling is the way it sits on the edge between reality and speculation, never fully revealing itself, yet never fading away. It is a reminder of how stories in the sports world often take on a life of their own, fueled by emotion, possibility, and the constant search for meaning behind every action. Rui Hachimura's silence, JJ Redick's words, and the Warriors' looming presence all combine to create a narrative that feels unfinished, like a chapter waiting for its final lines to be written. Whether this rumored move becomes reality or fades into the long list of what could have been, it has already captured attention in a way that few stories do. And until the truth finally emerges, the conversation will continue, evolving with every new detail, keeping fans locked in, wondering if they are witnessing the beginning of a major shift in the balance of the league. Stay informed exclusively about Los Angeles Lakers news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep receiving daily updates. Also, share your opinion on the news in the comments, as your contribution is crucial for the Lakers. Stay tuned for the next video.